Ninja Turtles 3 on the NES, the Manhattan Project, Video 1. LNTATNLF. Back. Ninja Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project, on the NES, being played as part of the Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection on the Nintendo Switch. This is a game that I rented on launch back in, 91 or 92? This game is, well, let me put it this way. Ninja Turtles 2 on the NES was a port of the arcade game, but obviously there were a lot of compromises made. Like, you couldn't pick up an enemy and throw them over your head. Raphael couldn't do a roll kick. Stuff like that. The Turtles were all basically the same. And this is the game that kind of tried to improve that original arcade concept by making a game specifically for the NES Famicom. So you can see right here, you can pick up enemies and throw them above your head. And Raphael has a torpedo header. Every turtle has their own special attack. I don't know if all the turtles have different skills. That the manual didn't specifically mention the turtles were different. They just have different moves, which is worth noting. But again, that's more distinction than they ever had in the arcade game, really, except for the roll kick that Raphael had. Tell you what, I usually play as Raphael, but we'll try out each turtle. The control here is very similar to the original, to Ninja Turtles 2 on the NES. Basically, the way it worked is that on the NES, you had 3 moves. You had an attack, you had a jump kick, and you had the jumping attack, where you just did a neutral jump and you just did a big swing that was twice as strong as a regular attack, and it was 50% stronger than your jump kick. That was it. That's all the game. Those were all the tools the game gave you. All the turtles were exactly the same. Arguably, Donatello had a longer reach. I don't think we can prove that. It's not really that important in terms of the gameplay. I'm sure some speedrunners might have already figured that out. Frankly, all the turtles are basically the same there. So what you have here is a game where they said, okay, let's make the turtles somewhat more distinct. They all have the same moveset, but they all have a special attack that drains a little bit of their health bar. So I'll show you the basics before we get started. So you have your regular attack, your jump kick, and if you hold, if you press jump and attack at the same time, you do your turtle special attack, which is what that torpedo header was. That's Raphael's special attack. He uses 1 pip on his life meter, so you don't want to use that too often. I think you only lose health if you hit an enemy with it. Okay, so you still lose health when you use it. Okay, so don't use it. Okay, if you hold down and press attack, you throw the enemies above your head. Is it stronger than your regular attack? I don't know. We're going to find out in a second. That killed him, so it one-shot him. Oh, when you attack enemies behind you, okay. Yeah. So that attack is... Yeah, so that attack is twice as strong as a regular attack. And it also hits enemies behind you. So we got him with a jump kick. So that attack is stronger than your regular attack, so you might as well just use that over and over again. Depending on the situation, of course. Easy enough. Ow. I think I made it to level 3 with the submarine when I rented this game, but I didn't spend much time with it back when on launch. It was never really that impressive when it came out, but as you'll see a bit later, there's some pretty interesting line scrolling effects, which you saw earlier in the video when you're surfing on your you're surfing on your turtle board, whatever you call it, your little surfboard. There's a interesting little line scrolling effect. There is some screen shaking in later stages. When you get to the bridge, there is some screen shaking there that I guess is kind of significant for this console. Screen shaking was a big deal when it came out, because it requires some pretty fancy. Lots of graphical effects weren't really possible on this console, so you had to kind of fake it. There's some interesting tricks. There's a lot of sprite flicker, as you can see. There is an enhancement to turn off the sprite flicker. If you go to the main menu before you start the game, we'll do that later. Again, I'm trying to play the game somewhat... Whoops, didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to play the game authentically, if you will, then we'll turn on the enhancements. And I think when you throw an enemy above your head and you hit the enemy that's behind you, I think that does as much damage as a regular punch. But I remember the jump kicks were like 50% stronger than a regular attack. That might not be true in this game. 2 jump kicks brings them down. Yeah, 2 regular attacks, 2 jump kicks, and does the same amount of damage as 1 overhead swing. I mean, you can tell, like, they're like, okay, look, what can we add to this game quickly? And this is one of the things. Oh, come on. The game's cute. They're doing that same cartoonish vibe, so I get it. The same comical vibe. I mean, again, when the game came out, it was never supposed to be like a barn burner. It was just supposed to be a licensed game that moderately improves on what the previous game was trying to do when the arcade game came out. Not those signs are supposed to drop. They might still drop. Ow. The control's a bit tighter here compared to the Ninja Turtles 2 arcade game. So I think the control's a bit tighter here than it was in the previous game, so that's saying something. There it is. I knew those were going to drop. So again, all these callbacks to the previous game in the original arcade game. Again, maybe they just had more time to work on the port, I don't know. But I mean, let's be honest, they're probably using a similar engine than the Ninja Turtles 2 arcade, than the arcade port they just did. So they're probably just kind of building what they already did and kind of cleaning it up a little bit, make the controls a little bit more responsive, so that's useful. So again, like this part right here, very similar to Stage 2, where you go through the vertical scrolling section. So again, they're just enemies are jumping out of the ground, like when they would jump out of manholes, or they would tear through the floor. Whoops! Whoop! Okay, that sucked. Yeah. So you had a few areas like that where there were environmental hazards in the last game, manholes, that kind of thing. Same principle here. So again, they're kind of redoing tricks they used in the previous game. Like, that's fine. Okay, so a regular hit does regular damage, but if you manage to get them over your head, it does double damage. Okay. But again, it brings up the obvious question. Why use any other attack? We can just use this. Well, if the enemies are fast, you might have to use a jump kick. We're just kind of spamming the overhead swing. That busted. Well, I can't do the special attack. Hold on. There it is. Well, if I have no life left, I can just spam this over and over again. I can just spam that over and over again. Ah! Didn't know we could go vertical with it. Ah! Got me. Yeah, I was trying to do my... Yeah, there it is. Trying to do my... Sorry. Hitting those buttons. Suck. I should not be hitting those buttons. See, why can't I... 5 of those. Bad. See, I couldn't do it. So I guess about 8 of those special attacks. So if you're willing to risk it, I guess you can spam that over and over again. Scoring system's a bit better than the arcade game, obviously. So it's in 100-point increments now, and you have time bonuses, so that's cool. The last game, it was like you got 1 point for defeating an enemy, and that was it. You got extra lives every 200 enemies you killed. Fantastic. Amazing. Got all my health back, and I got the extra life. So I guess at 50k I get an extra life. Still works. Do we get more points by using the overhead attack? So you can see the line scrolling effect here, which is kind of cute, but I mean... It's just a scrolling trick. Ah! Haven't quite figured out how to avoid all that. Okay, slow down right there. Yeah, it's cute and all, but there we go. Heads up! There comes the slowdown. Ow! Bastard. Ow. The music has sort of a cheerier vibe than the last game did, but it has its moments. A bit later on, the music gets a little bit better, but it's kind of, like I said, it's a much more cheerful vibe than the previous games in the series. A lot of slowdown going on here. Yeah, a lot of slowdown going on here. Nothing worth crushing, just notable. Yeah, and it wasn't, and this was the game came out after the Super NES drop, so I mean, people were probably used to slowdown by then. They were like, yeah, look. The graphics gonna look better, but there's still gonna be plenty of slowdown. That was a lot of slowdown there. Well, remember, in the previous game, there were almost never more than 3 enemies on screen. So there was no slowdown, but you were always fighting the same enemy. You were always fighting, like, triplicates of the same enemy type. Or there were a couple of small enemies where they would attack you 4 at a time. But most foot soldiers only attacked you in groups of 3, and they were always the same enemy. Ow! Crap. Can I corner trap him? You gotta lamp the shadows. You gotta lamp the shadows. It was a lot easier in the last game. Okay, we got him. This is a lot easier in the last game. It was arguably too easy in the last game. We got a little bit of parallax scrolling in the foreground there, so, you know, it's a nice touch. We have a narrower, vertical area. We got lots of slowdown here. And like I said, you only had 3 enemies on screen in the last game. And maybe some, whoops, yeah, don't stay on there. Yeah, don't drop off the side. Now, it might be good if you want to avoid some, if you want to avoid those guns, that might be okay. Whoops. See, the slowdown gets really bad here. That hurt. Ow! I guess I'm safe here. Ish. Ow! Okay, that sucked. That is rough. Look at all that slowdown. Wow. They got me. I'm just gonna take the hit. Take the L. Ow! Bastard. Look at all that slowdown. Ha! Got me. Got the extra life, though. I'm not complaining too much. Oh, I can switch turtles at any time. Okay, that's good. Let's try Don. Who has a, what do you call it? He has a somersault attack, which we'll get to later. If there's a pizza around, I guess I can grab it. I think he has a bit more range than the other turtles do in this game. Stabby, stabby. Yeah, more sword ninjas from the last game. Yeah, a lot of slowdown in that last bit. Like I said, because they have 3 enemies on screen and all those moving projectiles. So that couldn't have helped. You didn't see that nearly as much in the previous game. Okay. 1. Careful, it's 2. That! With a special, it's 3.5. That's 4. 5. Special attack counts as 5, I guess. 6. 7. 8. Whoops. Can't hit him. 9. 10. No fair swinging. I can't do my special attack. Oh, that was one of them. Ow! Bastard. I can't do my special attack. Okay. Got him. It's maybe about a dozen. Gives my extra life. So maybe I get an extra life at every stage, huh? I'm not complaining. So the music here is pretty good. So I made it to scene 4 before I had to return the game for the rental. So we're doing that Streets of Rage thing here. Okay? Have fun. See if we get to do this thing. Yeah, Streets of Rage. Whoops. Amazing. So it does suck that the special move is such a pain to reliably do. It's not as hard as jumping and double dragon, though. Don't get me started on that. Rock Soldier. 1. Yeah, I can't throw these guys over my head. But I can poke them. Like Nina Williams in Tekken. Well, these guys go down way easier than they do in the arcade game. Well, even in Turtles in Time, they went down relatively easily. See, I want to say when the machine gun soldiers showed up, there were only those red ones from the last game. There were only 2 of them on screen at once. But these guys have a similar attack. Yeah, similar behavior. Maybe slightly altered. But they perform the exact same way. They have that dumb gun that they fire at a downward angle because they can't aim straight ahead for some reason. Careful! 2 dumb hits. Didn't I kill you already? Actually, that was the other guy. You'd be the boss at the end of the level, I guess. Well, bridge is still intact, despite all the grenades. Okay, the usual trick is to stay low, then jump up. Because if they transition from the top to the bottom level, they have to jump down. They won't just fall down. So that gives me an extra second to line up an attack. Ow. No fair with the stabbing. Like I said, a lot of flickering, though. I don't know how they do the transparency effect. Like with the girders, I don't know how they do that transparency effect. It is a nice effect. But it might just be cheating. It might just be a plain blue background, so it looks like a transparency effect. Ow! He got me on the wind up? Yeah, he was rearing up. I guess he's swinging both ways. Literally swinging both ways. Yeah. A forearm swing and a back arm swing. A back swing and a fore swing. We're fine. So they didn't do that whole knock them off the pit thing that we did at the beginning of the level, huh? Slash. Okay, so we're not fighting Bebop just yet. That's one. Whoops. Got me. Got me. Come on, hit me. Shouldn't have called it. This bowling ball attack is Don's special attack. Just I just can't reliably get it out. Can't hit him. Got me. See, again, I'm trying to do the special attack, and I wind up doing a jump kick instead. Got him. Oh, not dead yet. There's your pizza. Okay, now we're talking. I wonder if the Japanese version has, well, yeah. I wonder if the Japanese version has more pits in it. You can play both versions if you want. See which one's harder. Because I know the Japanese version of Turtles in Time on the Super NES is way harder. Or notably harder, the Super Famicom version of that game. There's one, you can limit your lives to 1, and the harder difficulty level is actually harder. I want to say the normal difficulty level in the Japanese version is similar to the hard difficulty on the American version. So we will be playing that version of the game too, obviously. Now here's where we can knock enemies to the pit again. Or they can do it to me, so don't get cocky. We're one-shotting these enemies anyway with the little pokey attack that I got. The overhead attack. So why be picky about it? Hey, you're one-shotting these guys anyway. Hey! Ow! Bastard. That's stupid. Any more? Oh, come on. Anyone else? It was kind of cheap. That's why I had to rewind. Ow! Ow! Fly ball to home. Yeah, fly ball to center field. Open to ideas here. If they're just gonna swing as soon as I come anywhere close to them, screw that. Ow! What do they want me to do there? Do they want me to use my special attack? 'Cause I'm gonna be losing health if I use that. Ow. Maybe it's the angle I have to. Ow! See? I'm hitting one of them, the other one's just whacking at me. Can I not hit them both at the same time? I think you have to bait them into swinging and then jump kick them. Add a little bit of Ow! Add a little bit of strategy to this. Yeah, wait till he swings, then jump kick him. Ow! Jeez. Ow! Ow! Hit me. Ow! Not like that. So why did I hit him that time? Pretty good timing. Couldn't recover fast enough. See? Come on! Garbage. See? I couldn't even hit him that time. Weird. Yes, come up with big old anvils. Good luck with that. You'll end up just like your boys. Stab him in the chest. It's like the rest of them. He's got a bolo. I can trap him here, right? Ow! Or not. Oh, that didn't work. No, I got stuck behind the truck. Huh. Didn't hit him. Like I said, not the world's most sophisticated brawler. Ow! Come on! You guys are just annoying. We're going to Mikey, who has a kangaroo kick. Ow! Oh, so that mace hits me even if he's not throwing it. He's just swinging it around. I can trap him up here. Not really, no. Yeah, I can't trap him there. I was hoping to trap him against the truck there. That ain't working. Nope. That was a double hit. How did I get hit there? Yeah, I don't even know how I got hit there on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. Alright. We gotta try, we'll try Leonardo eventually. He has the spinning swords for his special attack. But it's just weird that two of these turtles have attacks that have nothing to do with their weapons. Like Michelangelo's kangaroo kick could be anybody. And Raphael's torpedo header, that could be, again, that could be anybody too. There's your screen shaking. And Konami did that for Castlevania 3 as well, so they were well practiced with that trick. Yeah, lots of good time vibes in this music, for better or worse. Like, it's catchy, you know, it's just kind of too peppy, I would argue. I mean, the whole vibe of this game is, did you like the arcade game? Here's another one of those. Like, we just redid it with way more slowdown and flickering. But again, all the enemy types are the same. They're always in groups of 3. They come at you in groups. They come at you with, the mobs are always the same group of 3 enemies. So they'll never mix in the boomerang guys with the purple guys, you know what I mean? I think that those might be RAM limitations. Whoops. Because you can only fit so much enemy AI and so much enemy animation into memory at a time, so. If you don't want to develop, you don't want to program around it, then just have one type of enemy appear with one type of AI. Like, how much RAM did this, like, did it have, like, what? The PS2 had, like, 64 megabytes of RAM. So how much did this console have? Like, 64 kilobytes? Ow! Stupid. Barely saw that coming. I mean, yay, more vertical scrolling stages, I guess. Ow! See, all the tricks we did in the last game, we're basically doing those again. But, I mean, again, at this point, it was like, what else can we do with a Double Dragon-like game on this hardware? I mean, the game's obviously way more responsive than the Double Dragon games were on the NES, but they're way more simplistic. But even then, I mean, those Double Dragon games made basic platforming a real chore. That and a couple of moves were overpowered, so of course that's also a problem here. The pacing of the action's way different, obviously. But Double Dragon was more about like having like 12 different moves and only needing to do 2 or maybe 3, depending on the situation. Did I miss one? Should be one more enemy. Oh, sorry, we gotta move a bit further down. Again, one guy usually makes some big entrance, the other 2 guys just come in from stage left and stage right like everyone else. Didn't mean to do that. It's one of those things. We're just getting 400 points for every soldier we kill, right? Get me. I think all these guys have the same range. Doesn't feel like anyone's has a longer range than anyone else. Maybe Don has a longer range on his pokey attack, his pokey overhead attack, but again, they all feel the same except for the special attacks, and you lose, again, you lose health when you use them. And then like Final Fight, you aren't invincible, so they aren't an F-off attack like in Final Fight. And you weren't invincible when you did the spinning cyclone kick in Double Dragon either. It's just the whole idea of having like one really effective attack, why even bother using any of the others? Well, in this case, you have to kind of close the distance. That's what the dive kick is for. It's still the fastest way to get around in this game. Did he hit me with like a sand bomb or something? I'm rubbing my eyes like he threw sand in my face. Well, he is a rock soldier. Why wouldn't he throw sand in my face? Ow! Ow! Where's the pizza? This is the furthest I've ever made it in the game, I think. Yeah, I don't remember getting here in the, during the rental period. More slowdown. Yeah, you're not supposed to have 4 guys on screen. The NES is chugging. Chuggy chug chug. Yeah, the poor Famicom. There's your extra life. And what do you know, I lost it right away. So we'll try Leo. But yeah, remember, Ninja Turtles 2 on the NES never had more than 3 enemies on screen unless they were tiny. So you have these 4 foot soldiers on screen, this poor console just chugs. Chug like a mug. I'll show you the spinning attack later. Because remember, I don't want to lose. I'm going to lose health. Like I said, everyone just feels the same. Except for the special attacks, of course. Couldn't throw him down the manhole. Oh well. Ow! Bastard. Oh, here's a new wrinkle. Foot soldiers with a different kind of melee attack. So yeah, the action's a little bit faster and it's slightly more responsive than the last game was, so that's good to know. Input lag feels a little bit lower. Ah. What are they doing? Like flying elbow drops? Yeah, they're like doing body splashes like Hagar in Final Fight. Yeah, they're doing body splashes, but they're basically just dive kicks. With a different angle, of course. Was there ever an NES game with, like, legitimately meaty, like, collision detection? Like, legit collision detection? That was actually felt, like, tight? Like Final Fight did, or, Batman Returns on the Super NES? Even Maximum Carnage was fine for what it was, as far as the collision boxes go. Haha. Oh, that was a trick. Okay. Did not see that coming. That was just lame. That was cheap. More slowdown, just like Final Fight. Yeah, see, remember that thing in Final Fight? Let's do that. I guess they were ripping off the whole balls thing. Is that which car is gonna go out? Which car is gonna pull out? Which hearse is gonna pull out here? Place your bets. The one on the left or the one on the right? Nope, maybe none of them are gonna pull out. No 4-frame animation of a car pulling out. Yeah, stupid. Just lame. Nope. Guess the car's not gonna pull out. Nope, it's not pulling out. And knowing this console, it wouldn't be able to move 3 rock soldiers and a car in the same screen at the same time. I'm calling it. Special attack. Got 1 of them. Got 2 of them. So you might have to time it so you get more than 1. Get them both together. Can't get the... Yeah, I couldn't get the guy up top. See if we can line them up. Got him. So that's how you do it. Because I do need a pizza. These guys throw 2 knives instead of just 1 like in the last game. I mean, the foot soldiers are fast. I'll give them credit. They're fast in both games. So they're constantly throwing them at you. Yeah, I like that this game has a command throw, but it probably just makes the game too easy. Haha. I want to say this game had an MM3C chip, according to Nintendo Power, anyway. Go down. Get at me. Didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, as soon as you jump down, I got you. Yeah. More flying body splashes. So they're gonna back up and then charge at you with a flying body splash. They retreat, then try the flying body. Whoop! Ah, come on. Some try to punch me. Hold on, yeah, it must be a train. No screen shaking. Okay, fine. That was lame. 2 cheap hits. Yeah, I thought I was standing right in front of them, but somehow they snuck a punch in there. Who wants some? Guy's fast. What's his name? Ratchet? Ow. But yeah, he's with not Toka. Yeah, I forgot what the bull's name was. He was in the Turtleoids episode. Ow. Tattoo is not in this game. And they never did make anything out of this mole in the bowl. I mean, as I recall, this character was created just like the bull was by the toy makers. But the bull is basically just a rhino anyway. He just had a Texas accent. So, I mean, it was hard to really make sense out of his character. It's like, yeah, just he's a rodeo bull. Didn't they find him in a zoo? I don't remember. Yeah, they found a bull and a mole. Don't know why. Ow. Ah. This isn't gonna happen, isn't it? Ah, come on. See if I can trap him in the corner. Couldn't hit him. Gotta get close enough. Couple hits. Yeah, I might be able to spam him for a couple of hits. If I can corner trap him, I might be able to spam him for a couple of hits. Have to line it up. Ah! Okay. Yeah, I couldn't get him. Yeah, see, I couldn't line him up. Got him. I just had to line him up in the corner. Get a few spinning slashes on him. So yeah, I don't remember his name. Almost got the extra life. Just have to kill 3 more enemies, I guess. But yeah, we've already seen all the turtles and all their special attacks. That's really all you need to know. Well, if I made it here when I rented the game, I didn't make it much further than this. Typical strategy, stay on the edge of the 2 planes, because they have to jump down to meet you in the water. That gives you an extra half second to line up an attack. See, those guys can't hit you until they go into the water. Ah! How'd they hit me? Come on. Come on. Got him. But you can't meet me down here. Are there any missiles in the water here? Because there were in the last game. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah. Ah, jeez. How did he jump kick me from up there? Which is the other question. Did I get the extra life? So I get 250k. There was also a stage select code here, so that'll save me some trouble a bit later. Again, how did he poke me from up there? I was on a completely different plane. So I was trying to cheat by staying here on the edge, but it probably doesn't work that way. That was a cheap hit. Again, it's still kind of janky, because you're not always sure if you're going to make contact. In Final Fight was rarely a problem. Got behind him. Ah, come on. Yeah, so you're trying to line it up so that you squeeze in between the two. Didn't mean to do that. So I'll take the dumb hit because I made a bad move. I'm not gonna accidentally press the super move. That's kind of annoying. And Final Fight had that little trick where if you held down the attack button and then you jumped, while holding down the attack button, you would get the special move to come out. So it was a more reliable way of getting it to come out. You can hold down one button while pressing the other one and it worked. You pressed the button while holding down the other one and it worked. Robot mosquitoes, huh? I've seen 2 different types of enemies here. That's pretty rare. Poor NES RAM. Oh, they got a dive. They got a self-destructing dive bomb attack. Ow. So that's why they're here. Simpler AI, I guess. Ah! And they're all out. Ow! Bastard. Hey! If I poked him, I didn't get him over my head. I think it depends on where he is vertically after you do the poke move. So if you penetrate, it goes over your head 99% of the time. But on the 1% of the time when you miss, you just do a stab without doing the overhead. Which is an interesting wrinkle, but it doesn't really add any nuance to the combat. Like Final Fight had all kinds of weird tricks where you can like after you do a body, like after 2 hits, you would do 2 punches and then a body blow. After you do the body blow, you can throw the enemy over your head. And that was always a great trick, because in a really like hectic fight, knowing that you can throw an enemy over your head in the middle of a combo was a great way to manage the screen. It's a great way to control the screen. So again, there were like little touches like that in Final Fight you can't really do in games like this. Yeah, crap. Mega Mouser. Yeah, I never made it this far when I rented the game. I did not have a Super NES at the time, I want to say. But I mean, I was a big arcade fan, so I knew I was gonna be interested in this game, but I didn't think I was actually gonna like it. I mean, I was a kid. I was probably gonna like the game as much as anyone else who played the arcade game. And I guess the assumption is that people who grew up playing the arcade game would want to play a game like it 2 years later, which is when this game came out. Oh, come on. For crying out. Remember, you gotta corner trap them. That's how you do that. No, we're not done yet. Got the extra life, though. 300k. Now we're getting that slowdown. Yeah, we got 5 foot... Yeah. The 5-foot soldiers on screen is going to bring that slowdown. God, this poor NES. Can't have more than 3 moving objects. Can't have more than 4 moving objects on screen at any given time. Pobrecito. Like I said, this is vintage 1982 hardware, folks. 10 years after its state-of-the-art status. Struggling to make a game with 4 enemies on screen at once. Well, 4 normal-sized sprites on screen at once. Oh, come on! Well, I got the extra life, so I don't feel so bad. Yeah, I don't feel so bad. So we've used everybody, so who do you want to use? I mean, well, Leo has the, you can do the double hits more easily with Leo, so I would argue his special attack is the most useful. But if they all have the same speed of movement, they all seem to have the same range on their attacks, even Donnie. And Raphael just has that stationary move that can hit, if you trap an enemy in the corner, you can hit him twice with it, especially a boss. That makes him a bit more useful than the other turtles, I would argue. I mean, again, this isn't, you know, the next Sim City we're playing here. This isn't the next Civilization 4. It's just a cooperative belt scroller. A cooperative belt scrolling, barely brawler. Where you can 1-hit or 2-hit most enemies. And of course, the problem with the arcade game, at the end, the bosses had way too many hit points. It took like 5 or 6 minutes to bring down one of those guys. Like, one of the rock soldiers took like 50 jump kicks to kill. 50! And that was the only really safe way to, like, take them out, because the way it works is that you had to dive kick them so that you landed behind them. Because otherwise, they would just punch you as soon as you landed. So the only way to really safely beat them is to, like, is to place your jump kicks that you wind up on the other side of them when you landed. Like that. You had to end up behind them with your dive kick. Otherwise, they would just punch you. So you had to place your jump kicks in such a way that they couldn't just punch you as soon as you landed. which also works against these enemies that have a bit of range. But sometimes if you just try to do a regular attack, you'll somehow whiff on a normal attack. And then you'll take a hit because you whiffed on that normal attack that looked like it should have made damage. It looked like it should have connected. Yeah, see, I knew it. Don't grab it yet. I guess we're grabbing it now, then. Fine. Didn't want to leave it behind. Well, tide's in. Just like Louisiana. Okay, that was lame. Ow. Did Leatherhead have a gun? I don't remember. In the cartoon, what did he have? No, he had a whip, I think. No, we had him. Okay, hold on. Ah. If nothing else, a spinning attack gives you a few seconds of invincibility. Of course, if he does that... couldn't avoid that. Okay, I don't want to take that damage. Ah! I can't really hit him twice if he does that spinning attack after I land. Yeah. See, I'm just too close to him. Because once I do that attack, I can't move. So I better hope he doesn't hit me after I'm done with the spin. Got him. Okay, we're going to stop the video here. Hope we're not dead. So I guess now we can jump down. We're going to end the video pretty soon. That Bogart shredder. That Humphrey Bogart shredder. Well, we made it to the Technodrome. That's what counts. Strat, con, screen, con, strat, save. So we'll be back in a second. Ninja Turtles 3 on the NES. Video number 1.